In this video, I'm going to share with you guys how I actually went from 169 to 190 in a span of just 2 months. When I say you 2 months, it wasn't actually 2 months. As you know that MDCAT in 2024 was reconducted, and initially we were given just 3 weeks to prepare for exam. But then the court cases threw everything into absolute uncertainty that we were not sure whether our exam will actually going to happen or not, even just a week before our exam. So we kind of prepared in complete uncertainty. Even under those uncertain circumstances, I was able to make a leap of 21 marks and was able to boost my score from 169 to 190. So I dug very deep and did an analysis of my both attempts. And what were those things which I did different that really boosted my score? And in this video, I'm going to share with you all those things. So I have added the timestamps to this video so you can jump to the desired part of this video, but I will actually going to suggest you to watch this whole video till the end, because this is a kind of video which I used to crave when I was preparing for MDCAT, and I tried my best to keep it very hygiene. I have divided this video into 3 main parts. Number 1 would be the mindset, and then number 2 is the resources, and number 3 the strategies and techniques which I used personally, which I think really boosted my score and were different from other students. In my opinion, the mindset is the ultimate thing that really differentiates a student who is going to succeed in MDCAT from a student who will unfortunately will not be able to do it. It actually lays the foundation, and when it comes to mindset, there was a striking difference in my mindset between the 2 attempts. In my first attempt, I really wanted good scores, but I wasn't really passionate about it. I wasn't fearful about it. But the second time, it was completely different. I was absolutely terrified about the idea of me not getting admission to medical college. I was having very severe insomnia. Every other night I was unable to sleep. And it is actually the fear that drives you and motivates you rather than those so-called happy thoughts. You have to feel that stark reality. What will happen if you're not able to achieve your goal? But there is also a potential downside to this thing also. That is imposter syndrome. You never feel good enough about your preparation. You will find yourself comparing to other people. But in my opinion, the imposter syndrome of 2 months is far better than regretting your entire life for the life that you could have if you haven't stopped betting on yourself. So guys, mindset is extremely important. And if you are not fearful about MDCAT, then this is something that is actually concerning and you should care about it. As far as the resources are concerned for MDCAT, I am not a believer of burning yourself under a heap of practice books. I really believe in utilizing high yield and concise and to the point resources that will actually going to help you with your exam. And before choosing any book or any practice book or textbook, you should always ask yourself this question: will this going to help me in last week of my MDCAT preparation? And if the answer is yes, then utilize that resource. As far as biology is concerned, your textbook is everything. Almost all the questions which are being asked in the biology portion are from your textbook, whether it's going to be the straightforward your textbook line or it will be a concept hidden behind those lines. So you have to really utilize your textbooks very well. If you're a Punjab board student, I will suggest you that you should do your respective board textbook, but you should also do the federal textbook, and that will actually going to boost your confidence a lot. I know there are very few questions which are actually asked from the federal textbook, but doing the federal textbook will give you a lot of confidence. But if you're a federal board student, I think so your textbook is more than enough. You don't need to do the Punjab textbook, and I'm absolutely against this idea of doing the other board's textbook. I think it is the worst advice someone can give to you. It will going to burn you so quickly that all of your energy will be wasted. So guys, you only have to do your own respective board book, and you, instead of wasting time on useless thing, you should do multiple revisions of your book. In my opinion, one mistake I see people making is that they waste their time in making notes for biology. I think so making notes for biology is complete waste of time. Instead, you should invest that time in revising your textbook multiple times. And for physics, in my opinion, comprehensive notes and quality lectures are super important. Let me share with you one resource that really boosted my confidence and really made me pro in physics. And that resource was Physics in Seconds. These were the best lectures I found for physics. And these are very detailed and they cover almost all the questions and all the concepts which are going to be tested in your exam. There is another resource by the name of Prep Titans, and they have their Google Drive, and in that drive you can find almost all the MDCAT resources of almost all the academies. So what I used to do was I used to download the lecture notes from that drive. I used to print it out. And whenever I was taking lectures, the physical notes were in front of me. So I was just 100% concentrating on lectures and the physical notes were always in front of me. In this way, I was really understanding the concepts without any distractions. For chemistry, I will suggest you to make notes. And in my opinion, your notes and your textbook are equally important. Taking lectures with full concentration is very important for chemistry because it involves a lot of concepts. Especially the physical chemistry that is heavily concept based. So your prime focus should be clearing your concepts and making them crystal clear. Physics, I used to take my lectures with complete concentration. So at the end of the lecture, I used to take the pictures of my friends' notes and used to convert it into PDF and then print it out. So that I completely invest my energy in understanding the concepts and answering the questions which teacher asked during the lecture and really engaging with the teacher instead of, making the notes. So guys, again, the main thing is to clear your concepts. All your concepts will actually going to give you the confidence in the MDCAT exam. And as far as organic chemistry is concerned, I will going to suggest you is that first of all, clear your concepts. So all the reactions in your organic chemistry should be at your fingertips. Those are very important in your MDCAT. And when it comes to English, my sincere advice to you guys is that stick to the basics. English is one of those subjects which is very unpredictable. Yet English is a very volatile subject. And sometimes they ask you the question with double right answer. Sometimes they give you an incomplete or incorrect statement. And sometimes they will give you a wrong key. And a lot of issues with MDCAT English in the recent years. And if you will going to analyze the past papers, you will come to realize about 90 to 95% of your questions in MDCAT English comes from very few topics. Some of those topics are like verb, tenses, miscellaneous mistakes, subject-verb agreement. So focus on those high-yield topics and also do a lot of practice in English. By a lot of practice, I mean really solving your test and your half-book papers and full-length papers. And that will be enough. Never ever leave your past papers. As far as the logical reasoning is concerned, my advice is very straightforward. Solve your KIPS practice book. That is more than enough. And if you have some issues in understanding the logical reasoning, then Neil Pear's YouTube lecture are perfect resource for you guys that actually covers everything that is going to be asked in your MDCAT exam. Now let me answer the most burning question of MDCAT, and that is how many MCQs should we solve? In my opinion, you don't need to solve 10,000, 20,000 MCQs. Most of your MCQs practice come from your past papers. And I personally did about 10 to 12 years past paper about 3 to 4 times. Yes, I did multiple revisions of my past papers. So by solving my past papers multiple times, I was really confident about my actual MDCAT exam because I was really able to tackle those MCQs which were being asked in the MDCAT past papers. So I thought like if I can solve those past papers, I can also excel in the actual MDCAT. So I also had a topical past paper MCQs book. Whenever I used to prepare a topic, I used to immediately solve its past papers, and that really used to help me a lot. And that really enabled me to understand whether that topic is a high yield topic or a low yield topic. Because during the last race, you really have to focus on your weak points and also on the high yield topics, which are most probably to appear in your MDCAT exam. After analyzing those past papers, I came to a point that about 80% of the questions which are being asked on your MDCAT are from your textbook. They're simply from your textbook, whether it's your textbook line or it's the concept. And if the examiner really want to make your MDCAT difficult, what he will do is that he will start asking you out of syllabus questions. You're going to see your past papers, you will going to understand this thing. So, in my opinion, after completing your complete MDCAT syllabus, suggest you to do closely related topics which are not directly mentioned in your MDCAT syllabus. By doing those topics, you will have an extra shield of protection. For example, in biology, you are doing the kingdom monera chapter, and you did the shapes of bacteria and reproduction of bacteria. So also do your respiration in bacteria. What I have realized is that the examiners do consider past papers while making your current MDCAT exam, and they sometimes ask you a question from past paper which is actually not a part of your current syllabus. I'm going to say something that is very controversial, and that is I am not a fan of practice book at all. If you have a lot of time, for example 6 months, 7 months, or a year, then do solve your practice books. And I will, if you really want to solve a practice book, I will suggest you to solve the KIPS practice book. I found them to be most high yield, but still the difficulty level of the questions which are being asked to you in your practice books is way higher than the MDCAT actual exam. So I would suggest you guys to stick to your past papers and your test and FLPs. That is enough practice for you guys, and that is actually, in my opinion, the right way to go. Now I will also going to suggest you guys to solve full length papers. I personally solved about 6 to 7 full length papers, and those really helped me. And I will really suggest you guys to solve those full length papers in a complete exam like environment and avoid cheating. Even if you have less time, please consider to give at least 3 to 4 FLPs, because that will really going to have benefit you a lot and going to open your eyes what are your weak points and how to manage your time. And now I will going to share with you guys all those techniques and strategies which I think so really made a difference in my preparation. So about 2 weeks before my actual MDCAT exam, when I was going through my final revision, I was able to identify the weak areas of every single chapter and all those topics which need multiple revisions. So what I used to do was I started making small, about 10 to 12 minutes recordings of every single chapter. So in those recordings, I used to record my weak areas and also those topics which need multiple revisions. So in this way, I was able to revise a very huge chapter in about 10 minutes. And that is a strategy that really helped me to revise multiple times, and that really boosted my confidence. And I will also going to suggest you to the same about 2 weeks before exam. Another thing which I did that really proved to be a game changer was that I made my mistake notebook. Guys, mistake notebook is so important. Whenever I used to solve past papers or whenever I used to solve my class test or FLP, and I used to write down all those MCQs in my mistake notebooks. In this way, I was able to revise all those mistakes in my last week. Thirdly, when I was preparing for my MDCAT exam, I really cut off all the noise, and I was consistently on daily basis studying about 10 to 12 hours. Was the thing that actually made a difference. Guys, you have to study for 10 to 12 hours consistently every single day, whether it's Sunday or Monday. And fourthly, I want to talk about sleep. Sleep play a very crucial role in my success. I was sleeping about 6 to 7 hours every single day. Now I want to conclude this video by really saying, if you really want to predict your future, you have to look at the past. MDCAT 2025 will going to be no different from MDCAT 2024. MDCAT 2025 will going to be on the same trend as MDCAT of 2024 and MDCAT of 2023. And also use only high yield resources, which are your textbooks, your notes, and avoid using any other boards, textbook, or some other practice book. And if you find this video useful, so don't forget to like and subscribe. It will going to motivate me to make more videos like this.